Hey, thank you all so much for coming out. Really appreciate it. You know, coming on time and all that. That's
Thanks for having us.
Yes. So thank you all for coming. So today we're going to talk about money in relationships, right? Does it make it? Does it break it? Or does it decide it? You know what I'm saying? You know, decide it. What do y'all think? Throw it at y'all. If do you think that money is going to be a decider if you were going to go into a relationship? Yeah. Now, relationship could be marriage or just boyfriend, girlfriend, but relationship, period.
I wouldn't say it makes or break if I'm going to get involved with an individual, if that's your question. I don't think if they don't make a certain amount of money doesn't determine if I'm going to
date them.
Try to get
but
to
you
know
want
them.
them to be attracted to money.
Well, yes.
Money is necessary. Okay.
Now, I think instinctually we want to survive and we want to thrive and we want to be well. Yeah. So whenever you're choosing a partner, I would think most oftentimes you would like to choose a relationship experience that will relay comfortability and ease of survival. So perhaps you're not outrightly choosing a person because of money or a lack thereof, but rather you're choosing the kind of experience you like. So we can struggle, we can build together, or I want Z Gallery furniture and I want to live and I want trips and I want to, it's contingent upon, I think, the kind of experience that you want.
But when you think about it from the perspective of finances, I feel like finance is essential for building something for the future. Whether it's starting off a relationship or getting married, either or. It's like if you cannot talk finances with whoever, there's no point.
Right.
Like that's literally what it is. Like, because at the end of the day, like everything you do, everything you build, wherever you go from step to step, stage to stage, literally finances.
Yeah, and money isn't everything, but everything does take money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there should be an atmosphere that's complementary of talking about finances.
But also finances in the sense of managing. How do you manage your finances?
That's very
Do
important.
you overspend? Do you always have to look a certain way to the outside people and you just end up going outside your budget? Do you even set a budget for yourself in terms of how much you're going to spend?
Right. So from what you say you were going to, your money wasn't really not a decider. But from what they're saying, my question to you is, at what point do you realize that you need to talk money? You see what I'm saying? So money is not really a decider for you if you go in a relationship. You're already in a relationship with somebody. At what point how do you even bring up that conversation to start the process of, we didn't talk about this?
That's a good question.
Very good question. So for me, before we get into the relationship, obviously, I would want to have a conversation about, what are your thoughts on financial stability? Because as a woman, that's really important to me. So my mom, she was a single mom, and, creating a budget, like he was saying, savings, preparing for emergencies or just miscellaneous things, a car breaking down or something like that. So I would want to know, what are your thoughts on financial stability? Yep. Are you carefree? Do you just not care and you're kind of just like, well, I'll kind of just go where the wind blows me and figure it out, or try to go take out a loan or borrow money from someone? No, boo. Absolutely. We can't do that.
But on the real 5th date, I am asking you, what is your credit score looking like?
No, are you serious?
I was about to throw that in.
Oh my goodness.
On some real shit, I'll ask you, do you got good credit? Because this is how.
What's a measure of good credit?
700 and above.
Okay. Because not everybody has credit.
I have a good point. Yeah, I'm about to
if you have no credit, you have bad credit. It's a necessity. Like I can't date you if I don't understand. I can't build something with you if I don't understand where you currently are financially. And you have to be able to talk financial questions when you're with somebody you're trying to build with. I will definitely not outright just ask you these questions. I'm going to slide it in some kind of way, build it up a little bit. But somehow on the 5th date, I have an idea where your financial stability is.
On a 5th date or just on a date in general, if we're not in a relationship already, I don't necessarily think I'm going to be asking those probing questions.
I'm not sure how soon or at what point in a relationship you would have that conversation, but I think it's something that's just going to happen naturally.
I'm really big on not crossing certain boundaries that I don't want to be crossed on my end. I don't think a man should be asking me my credit score. I don't think he should be asking me my savings habits and things like that, and we're not even in a monogamous relationship.
Communication leads to information. Information leads to understanding. So the more I can understand your prerogative and your perspective, I can take the questions with grace. So most people say, oh, you asked me about money, that's you doing too much, and that person might feel inclined to be uncomfortable. comfortable. But it's really like, what am I keeping from you? If you say, look, Jamie, when we're going on these dates or we're going on these outings, I want you to know it's less of just a good time to me and more about aspiring and looking forward to a prosperous future with you. So I would like to just share in some of your understanding about how you treat money and approach money. And one of those questions, if we can be honest, is going to be about credit. Where do you stand in your credit? Now, do you feel threatened? Do you feel like I'm finna rip all your money out of your pockets? Do you feel like No, it's a way that you communicate and that you just let the person know that I would like for you to be in touch and in atonement with me as we're moving forward.
Let's say you're in a relationship and the lady is a primary earner. How would that play out?
What do you mean by primary earner?
Like she's earning way more than you are. Okay. I mean, you're working, you're not earning as much, but she's earning, say, almost double what you're earning. How would that play out?
Play out as far as attitude-wise, or as far as how it functions?
How would it? Yeah,
because how it looks and how it functions
both.
is.
We're talking about both.
Okay.
I mean, you become your network, and if you're in a relationship, that's a dope network to have in terms of if whoever is making more than another. If you have a drive to want to become better, then I think whoever you're with, if they're making a certain amount of money, you have a better chance of getting to where you want to go.
That's a great attitude.
They have the attitude, they have the mindset, they have the experience, the characteristics, everything. So you're able to feed off of that energy because you're around this person all the time. So
that's not for everybody, because I know a decent amount of guys who would not date someone that earns more than them, and it's very short-sighted, because at the end of the day, both of you will build together. At the end of the day, especially if you get married, what's hers is hers, what's mine is mine. But still, there's still some level of like combined finances in the grand scheme of things. So like, you know, at the end of the day, when you guys are talking about, you know, what school for your kids, all that extra stuff, it's all combined finances at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that, you know, you guys are building together. As far as you guys have that long-term mentality that, okay, we're building this, secure our kids' future or something like that, or establish yourselves, it shouldn't be an issue. But I guarantee you that there's a huge percentage of guys that are not able to do that, and it's ridiculous as far as I'm concerned.
So this is true.
I think one thing that's very important to remember in relationships is the reason why you're in one. So if you're money driven and your prerogative is to hoist your money and, you know, that's how you're faring along, I think that can be a pretty limited perspective. I think you should always remember why you're in a relationship, and remember that the person that you're in the relationship with is your partner. They're not your enemy. So it's very important to find a happy medium, that you're not letting finances and any reasons related to money be reasons why you can't make it, especially if you're married. Atonement is very important. Unity is very important. So always remember that, regardless of what the matters are.
So with that said, I'm going to say this. He said, what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. And I was going to go...
But
let me I'm going to throw the question out, and if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it. What's mine is mine, what's hers is hers. Joint bank accounts. When you have a relationship, when you're in a relationship, you see yourself that, okay, this is who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. You may not be married yet, but you already established that fact.
Sure.
What point do you share your bank accounts? He may not, because what's hers is hers, and what's his is his.
And that's fair. It's your prerogative. So that's fair.
Is it a crime for him to say, I don't want to share my bank accounts?
It's definitely not a crime. It makes me question, however, not in a bad way, but it does make me question, what are your thoughts and attitude towards me as your partner, and where does your trust level lie in why your finances need to remain only yours, mine need to remain mine, and where the gray area where we kind of blend finances is just like, we'll leave it to that.
Ideally, in a perfect world, in the way, actually in the world we live in, it's what's hers is hers, what's yours is both of y'all's, if I'm going to be realistic.
Oh, I like how you I like that too.
I ain't gonna do that.
I like how you talk.
I'm being realistic, because if you think in the way,
oftentimes that's how it's.
That's literally how it works.
So let's just get it clear: what's mine is mine, and what's hers is hers. Because of love and the fact that we're in a relationship, there may be situations where I need to dab into my personal account, or she may as well. And I mean, I could see that happening. I don't think that's an issue, because I have a personal account that's just for me. Nah.
I think I read this a couple of weeks ago, where this guy had like 50. Oh, you
Go for it. Go for it.
I think I had like 50 grand in his account, and this lady literally
she paid off her loans.
Paid off her student loans
With
his money that he had saved up for.
Wow.
She didn't tell him about it either.
Yeah, exactly.
And she abused the access.
And it was like I was like, yo, bro.
She paid off her loans. He had loans.
Unbeknownst to the man?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he had loans that he could have.
That's
well,
low.
she put in 5,000. Y'all forgot that part of the story. She put in 5 to his 45.
Okay. And she paid off all her
student loans with it?
I'm not saying it was okay. I was just saying let's get the story right. I would want to know, why was there a lack of communication? Because if we're married at this point, we know how to communicate with each other. So why did you feel you had to make such an impulsive decision without consulting me about it?
I think that it's important to understand or establish with your partner that there is boundaries and there is a level of respect that should be had. Now, me inherently, I'm not a person that takes advantage or uses it or abuses my husband. So sure, what's his is mine. And if I have something to decide, then, it's mine, but I'm not abusing his stuff.
There's gonna be times where someone does something that you necessarily don't agree with. Let's talk about it, let's figure it out. What are we gonna do? What's the solution? Okay, you see I didn't like that move that you made. Do you care enough to correct it? Okay, boom, and we can keep it moving. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh, well, this, let's close the account. I don't wanna be on the account no more, taking you off of my account, or you taking me off your account. Like, that's just too much.
Okay, so if I have a joint account, what's the purpose? To be honest, the purpose would be our daily expenses, from rent to utilities, the bills that we use to take care of ourselves each and every day. For me, I'd be like, that'll be the time, at least that'll be the start to have that joint account.
Yeah.
I know the money that we're putting together into this account, whether it's 50-50 or 75-25 or whatever, 60-40, whatever it is, it's going solely to our daily living expenses. As time goes on, and we start realizing, okay, or I start realizing, oh, she's good with money, and she started realizing I'm good with money, or whatever it may be, then we can start trying to build after that, whether it's down payment on a house or whatever. Just, there has to be some kind of purpose behind that joint account, because I need to know how she's spending.
And you probably want to be aware of her attitude about spending before that of the establishment.
Like, I want to know what she does with money when she's upset, or where she's,
Did she go on a spending spree when she's trying to?
Because people have different. It's not just women, guys too. Like,
it's coping mechanisms. Yeah.
So I need to know those kind of things, because you're not gonna have a joint account and you start spending all this money
and abusing it.
Yeah.
If you get to some type of situation where you feel like you just want to calm yourself down, you want to shop and you want to buy shit, that's on you. You can do that. I'm not gonna have an issue with that, but I understand in that situation, this was what it was. It's not a thing. But then if it becomes a thing, then we have to have a conversation, man. You don't need all this extra shit you're buying. You're just taking up space, isn't it?
Now, I do know that I can go into Walmart with my husband, and my husband say, we going in there for one thing, and don't be looking around, don't be trying to touch stuff. We getting one thing. And I know he'll go down one aisle, and I'll go down the other aisle, and we just in there for Lysol wipes. And I'll be like, you know what? We sure been needing some new paper towels and some new toilet paper, and we sure been needing, so I can understand just the human experience. We're not perfect. We don't always adhere to like streamline perfect budgets and perfect things like that, but always curtail your behavior to be complementary to your union.
Women have a lot of shit that they don't really wear. They just buy it and they go, when they clean out the clothes, be like, oh, I got this. I should rock this. They ain't never gonna rock it. But they should though. So, is it an issue? Well, it's not an issue from my understanding. It's really not an issue, but people take it as an issue. So to y'all, the question is it an issue? But to us, is it not a good thing to literally have a separate, account somewhere that she don't know about? Just because, you just want to have one account.
What you trying to do out of that account?
Let me just pose a question to them, and then y'all can chime in.
Okay, I'm
for me, like having a separate
account that she don't necessarily know about it, but just some, like what do they call that? Rainy day fund type of thing where nobody has access to it, but you just have. The purpose is to, rainy days, strictly rainy days.
It could be something as simple as me just having a account where I'm just trying to pay cash on a motorcycle or something, or like just have extra cash for when I retire and I'm not working. It could be, or daughter going to college. It's there. Like, it could be for any kind of, you could save money just to save money, but usually it's for a purpose. And you can save more money when you have a purpose attached to it because you have the emotional attachment to it. So that's that drive to keep putting money in there. But I think it's normal. I don't think it's. I would do it.
Can we chime in?
Yes, please, because I've been waiting.
You go first.
Okay. So going back to the initial question, this is an account that the wife, girlfriend, whoever does not know about. Personally, I feel,
have a joint account and y'all know about it.
and I feel like if we are married, there should be complete transparency and honesty in the situation. Now, if you feel that you need to have a separate account because you are not confident in my spending habits or, you know, my abilities to save and things like that, then okay, you know, babe, that's cool. You go ahead and keep your single account and I'll keep my single account and then we'll have a joint account. But when it gets to a point to where you have money that I don't know about and you call me your wife and like that's kind of where I feel like the line is drawn.
For us to remain on the same page, I don't think that there should be a practice of keeping secrets. You want your own pocket change, you want your own monies to the side, have your monies to the side. But I'm by your side, so me and you need to be on the same page. It's nothing wrong with wanting your own stuff, but you didn't get married to be single and to do single man things. We here, so let's be here. Be all over here.
She knows I want a motorcycle, but she doesn't want me to get a motorcycle. So if she knows I'm saving for a motorcycle, she might have a problem.
But don't you think she would be more upset if well, don't you feel she would be more upset if you went and got it and then she's like, well, how did you get the motorcycle? And it's like, well, where did you save the money?
Account that you know about.
Okay, so now we got
you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give her a gift, some nice diamond earrings. And I think I got myself something too.
Nah.
I got a motorcycle.
Secret accounts are a no-go. I'm really big on honesty. So if I can be honest with you, then you should be honest with me regarding everything. What if I'm coming into the relationship, you know, saying, look, what's mine is yours. If it's an emergency, you can have access to my bank account, whatever the case may be. And you have your own little stash that I know nothing about. To me, that's not the type of relationship that I want to be in. If you want to have your own account, that is absolutely fine, but at least you should have enough respect to communicate that to me. Because if we starting to keep something, I don't care if it's an account or if it's food in the pantry or whatever, why are you hiding it from me? Because I'm not going to hide anything from you.
She has access to the account and she knows what it's for. She might just start pulling the money
But access to information.
The reason why I didn't tell you about the accounts because I knew you wouldn't like the idea of me having a bike. If I thought you would like the idea of it, I would tell you. That way you could put some of your money towards my satisfaction. But I didn't tell you. So yeah, you just going to have to deal with it. I still love you. It's not going to change the love. We go on the bike ride Saturday morning, cruising when the cars is out, sun rising. That's romantic shit.
For me to be privy to the information doesn't mean I'm privy to the dollars.
Right.
So it's okay to be forthright and, like you said, transparent with your partner. That doesn't necessarily have to grant me, oh, okay, well, that means I get a piece of it. No, it means he has something to himself that he'd like to keep over here, and that's his prerogative, and I can respect that.
I'm in banking and finance, and I've seen men come into the bank and say, let me just open up a side account. My wife's not going to be added on this one. And it's because they want to take somebody else on elaborate trips and whatnot.
I'm just saying.
So that's when it kind of becomes an issue.
Yeah. So the compromise is you can have the dang on account, but
I need to know about it.
I need to know about it.
Is that fair?
Let's move on.
I believe in secret accounts. Whoever told you not to have one, but I honestly, I think you should just tell them, like, hey, baby, I got a secret account, but you're not gonna see that motherfucker. So it is what it is. Just be honest, be transparent, but don't put her on that shit. You can keep your account. She keeps her account. I know young women. You can get a lot.
I would rather just have an account that we both have access to and our personal accounts.
That's
you don't
far
have
easier.
to have access to my personal account.
And that's fair.
But you know I have a personal account.
Sure.
But we have access and knowledge of this joint account that we have. So your motorbike you can get from this personal account.
Yeah.
She doesn't have access to your personal account.
Right.
Either way,
So-
it's just communication and honesty.
I think that's what it's about. But let's move on real quick because we're about to run out of time. I have 3 things we want to talk about. So, how would you fare in a situation where if you ever get into a relationship with somebody who's paying child support or has external or outside responsibilities, child support, alimony, whatever all those things are? how would that feel?
Y'all gotta take this one.
Y'all can, you know what I'm saying? I mean, some women pay child support too, so I don't know.
I never met one.
So how would that fare in that type of situation? Is that gonna be a breakup? Would you not date somebody who has all these other responsibilities?
You want to go?
I'll go first because I'm single. I'm in bull. So I'll say this: I've never dated anyone with kids already, and that was just a personal choice of mine because I did not want to deal with those things that, let's be honest, it might be a situation, right? If you have kids, naturally, I do have to respect that you have kids. I have to understand that anything could come up. You know, we could have a trip to go to Paris and your kids, God forbid something happens to your child or they get sick or the mom can't take them for the weekend or something. And then that's just something that I'm going to be like, damn, that trip to Paris, can you just take them to your granny house or something? That's not fair because your child comes first. And when I'm dating someone and I'm in a relationship, I want to come first. And, you know, I don't think that's selfish of me to say that. I think I'm really big on being transparent. I can't hide my feelings or my emotions and act like I'm okay. I think that's another thing that people should probably stop doing is be your true, authentic self. You know, be transparent. If it's something that you can't get jiggy with, then just we could be friends. You know, I'm glad you're interested, but the fact that you got little Courtney over here, she's adorable, she's cute, but it's not gonna go farther than us being friends.
It's not been my prerogative ever to date a person with children or to have the responsibility of child support, but life just has a funny way of spelling out, and sometimes we make decisions that lead to certain things maybe we didn't see for ourselves initially. So I can't say that it's such an awful thing, and I can't say that I would try to intervene or have any kind of opinion about how it's allocated or how much, because oftentimes those things are court assessed, and oftentimes that person has an understanding of what it truly takes to raise up the kids. So I don't have no beef with that. But here's the whole thing here. We get one life. We get one chance to make it right. And if my prerogative is that I don't want no kids, that's my prerogative and it's my choice. And I'm responsible for my life. I have a best friend. She went to the gym. She was training with a guy. He said, yo, I want to take you out. They go out and he mentions that he has a kid. And she said, oh, I'm not with that. And he was like, yo, that's very selfish. What's selfish is to waste your time, G. So if me and you was getting to know each other and it pop up, you got little ones and I'm not down with that, it would be mad selfish to not mention to you, I'm not down with kids. So whoever it is that has the kid, I think it's important to be communicative about that and be understanding that that was your life choice, and however anybody else wants to feel about it.
If I had a kid and you were like, yo, I can't date you because you got a kid, it's all right. You know, I just have to find somebody else that wants to date me. But that's your loss, though, because, you know, John Jr. gonna be looking hella good, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be decked out in some fantastic attire. He gonna be getting the ladies when he turn 18. You know, he's a phenomenal kid, but you just missed out on an opportunity to get to know him. I've dated like 3 people that had kids before. Now, I feel like if...
Were you dating for a purpose at this point?
He want to be a stepdaddy so bad, y'all.
Guys, listen. Women, listen. I'd be your baby daddy for a weekend for the right price. But anyway,
for the right price.
What I guess?
Next.
No. But seriously, I've done it a few times, 2-3 times. But the thing is that it's always one of those things that you have to respect the relationship they have with the baby daddy, because you know that's something you can't really interrupt, because at the end of the day, the kid needs their father,
yes,
the kid needs their mother, whatever situation it may be. So you have to understand that, and you have to know that going into it, this is something that you have to deal with literally for the duration of your relationship.
To wrap it up, I want us to go over this one last pretty important piece. You know, all these thoughts we've had, we brought it all together. We talked about finances, blah, 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 yada, 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 joint accounts, whatever it is. When, God forbid, relationships end for whatever reasons, divorce, whatever, splitting the monies, how do y'all think that should go down?
I want to hear y'all ladies talk.
Oh, your hands
Okay. I'll go right that work home.
Splitting the money.
So I feel as though if we are married, right, and we're getting a divorce, I don't necessarily believe in prenuptial agreements. Yes, that's right. So I don't necessarily believe in prenuptial agreements. So it would just kind of be one of those things where I kind of already know what could possibly come from if something like that happened. If we both were working our asses off and I just happened to naturally be the breadwinner, or I was blessed with a really great opportunity in life, whatever the case may be, you know, and this is a person that I still love and care about, it's just someone that I can no longer continue to be with, then I would go ahead and break even. I would, just because of the person that I am and I know what I'm capable of. Money is not the root of everything for me. The way that I was brought up, my parents are very successful. Work ethic is really important to me. But if he was a bum and he didn't do shit and he was living off of me, then no, you're not getting half of this, whether it was a prenup or not.
Okay, 50-50 I think is generous. That's fair. One thing I will say though is when you're in a relationship and or a marriage, you understand the culture of it, right? You understand what comes with it. You understand who is the primary earner. You understand how bills are divvied up. You understand who possibly out of the two are perhaps more in need or lesser financially. I don't want to say stable, because you can be stable and not have a world of money, but that's a really kind of tough question, because in all honesty, my husband is the primary earner. He's the breadwinner, if we're going to be completely honest. And I don't know, if we had to sever ties, ain't no severing ties. We together.
I think the men should really answer too, though, because I would want to know, hopefully I would be with the man that if something like that happened and we had kids and things like that, he's going to want to make sure and still be able to walk away from the situation, making sure, because we're still family at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So I would want a man that knows, okay, she's still going to be okay and my kids are going to still be okay.
Something that's civil and fair.
Yeah.
I feel that's all nice and dandy. Nice and dandy.
Why you want to be so mad?
Yes.
You want to be so devil's advocate over here.
No, because
that's all nice, but in real life, things can be civil in real life.
Honestly, I feel like you guys just have a conversation and you figure that out. Now, I don't believe 50-50 all the time, because some people don't deserve 50-50 of your shit.
That's fair.
Especially if you're the guy making more money. Because, like, bro, if I worked, like, a whole lot without you to get to where I am, and you just came in when I'm at the top of my game, and we don't last that long, then you want to take 50% of my shit. If you were with me from the start, when I first started out, whatever business I was doing or whatever, then yeah, I can see you getting half, because you were literally down with me when I probably had nothing or whatnot, until when I am whatever I became. So no, 50-50 shit, no, we're not going to courts for that shit. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you a little something on the side, but that's about it.
I feel like me as a human being, I'm very fair. So we divorce and this, that, whatever. I wouldn't want to see her, God forbid, but if it happened, I wouldn't want to see her suffer. She's still the mother of my kids. Like, I have a child, and me and her mom are not together. I don't want to, like, my child is with her all the time. My child's upbringing and attitude towards life and all that is based on what's going on in the house. So I want to make sure her mom is good, so that the environment is good. So, but I'm not allowing the court to decide that. And that's when I told my child's mom, where it was like, we're not together no more. And, we talked about child support and all that. We came together and
agreed upon something that was feasible for.
I felt like I don't want some outside figure coming in and saying this and that.
True.
I had a personal vendetta behind that, so I was like, no, I'm good. So, in terms of divorce, I think I'll do the same thing. I'd rather do a prenup and just say it that way, and I can be free to make my decision on what I want to give out. I'm not going to sit there and let somebody suffer, and I'll be the same for me, vice versa. Nobody will for me. I'll keep it that way.
That's a great attitude.
I can't let somebody come out and they don't know what's going on, so they're making that decision. Nah, it's all cool. Because then, because of that, people would have, they'll feel a certain way behind it, and
and technically, like, the court system kind of favors the woman most of the time. So
I mean, they do.
What you mad?
Because this is America.
Secondly, I'll do 50-50, but if it's a situation where my 50 is like a
trust me, like he said, somebody's gonna feel a certain way, because if he's working hard and making all the money and it comes
if it's an equal input, 50-50 makes sense.
If you were with me from the
start, we could do a prenup where
You have that.
No, we build a business together, and we're able to split that business in terms of like if you, I mean, you could come to some kind of agreement.
Yeah,
you know,
complementary of both parties.
Like you could do something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But thank y'all so much for coming on.
Yay! Thanks for having
us. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next time, but you come back.
Turn up.
You ain't turn up. We talking about it.